Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we would like to commence our session Islamic Studies at UM. So today we with our scholars, our lecturer in Akademi Pengajian Islam, our Dr. Youcef Bensala. We will explain about the methodology of Imam Ibn Badis in Islamic jurisprudence, inshallah ta'ala. So for the introduction, Dr. Youcef, could you explain to us who is Ibn Badis and what is the contribution of Ibn Badis to the Islamic jurisprudence in general?
Sure. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi man wala. Firstly, I would like to thank you for this kind of invitation, and would like to thank also our respected Dr. Shahid for his time. Regarding Imam al-Hamid ibn Badis rahmatullahi alayh, I think it's not fair to talk about his life and journey within 1 hour, 2 hours, or even hours. But briefly, al-Imam al-Hamid ibn Badis, who was known as Sanhaji, means he's not an original an Arab, he's not an Arab, he's a Amazighi, as you know. He was born in Algeria 1889 and passed away 1940, which means he lives around we can see 51 years old. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him with barakah. As we know, Imam Nawawi rahimahullah, who his life just he lives 45 years, yes. But we can see even his small book Arba'in Nawawi or 40 Hadith is very popular. His books in fiqh also, al-Majmu', one of the main references in Madhab al-Shafi'i, Sahih Muslim, for example, Riyad al-Salihin. In other hand, also we see Imam Sibawayh. His life, or just 35 years, but he wrote a book where he called him Al-Kitab. He is the main references for Arabic language. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed some people with barakah. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us barakah in our life, knowledge, family. So the beginning of his life, he came from a very historical family. As we know, his grandfather, al-Mu'izz ibn Badis, who was the king of Africa. And he was for 47 years. Qayrawan in that time, Algeria, Tunisia, he was the king of that. And one of his, what we can say, great step he done, in that time it was controlled by Fatimiyya, as we know. So he came and he changed it from Madhab Fatimi, that cover or control or colonize until Egypt, and change it to Madhab Ahl Sunnah. And also it was Madhab Hanafi popular there, so he changed it to Madhab Malik rahimahullah. So Imam Badis rahimahullah, he begins his life as a student in Tahfidh Quran. As he came, as you mentioned, rich family, very popular. Usually those family in that time of colonizing, French colonized, they learn in their schools, to get a better job, but his father preferred his son to learn in, we call Pondok, Tahfidh schools, right? Yes. So he memorized the Quran. After he memorized it, in that time it was Zaytuna, one of the popular place to learn religion. So he went to Zaytuna, finished his degree in Zaytuna, and by the way, he was first in his list. And the program in that time, after you graduate, you have to teach 1 year at university with the advisors of scholars, and they were good quality of scholars. One of them is Tahir Nashur, that's tafsir, very popular. Okay. So he's one of his Tunisian. He was Mufti. So after he finished that, degree plus the what we call teaching, he went back to Algeria to start education, to teach people, because as we know, in colonized in that time, they prohibited to teach anything related to language, Arabic language or Islamic studies, so he started and put all these things under culture. So he began teaching at Masjid Pondok tahfidh, for student, plus the Quran. But after sometimes they stop him. They say you cannot teach anymore. What he did, he went to perform Hajj. In that time, some scholars like his Sheikh Madisi, he says it's better to go and leave the country. You go to Saudi or Egypt and teach there.
Okay.
When he went to Medina, on the way to Medina, he went also to Mufti of Azhar in that time, Sheikh Dakhit, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he was Mufti at that time.
So in the early 19th century, in the early.
Yes.
Okay.
So he met with him, and he even gave him ijaza at that time, Azhar. Then he went to Medina. They give him, a chair to teach in Masjid Nabawi. Right. And at that time, he got confused whether to come back and to see his responsibility towards his people. They need education, need support, need help. Or to stay in Medina, increase your knowledge, same time teaching. So he says, when I ask opinions from scholars, some of them they just say, stay here and teach here. And one of the scholar is from India. He said that he told him, here we have scholars. So your job, your duty is to go back to Algeria. Okay. So your responsibility there is high. So he said that opinion or that advice, went through my heart and went back to Algeria. Yes, when he went to Algeria, he worked hard to get permission from the government to establish school, where he started, alhamdulillah, slowly, and the classes used to begin, before subuh.
Okay.
Because as we mentioned, always we go back to colonize. They don't allow you to teach anything except culture.
Yes.
If you say culture, they allow anything out of the culture. No. So even the science. So he used to teach like geographic, economic before subuh, geographic. Then after subuh, he will teach normal books like tahfidh, Arabic. So his classes went up to Isha. He has groups.
Okay.
So alhamdulillah, maybe we go to next point.
Okay. All right, inshallah. Okay, thank you, Youcef, for the explanation. Now, go to the next point. Maybe this is one of the questions might be asked by our audience. What is the factors that inspired you to study about Ibn Badis? Yes, we go to the short history about Ibn Badis. Now, what kind of the factor that urge you, that encourage you to study about Ibn Badis? What is special about Ibn Badis?
Good question. Actually, when we were studying in Algeria, we used to, like every year, 16 April, they call it Yawm al-Ilm, the day of knowledge, because he passed away 16 April 1990. So we have some nasheed song to say. We don't go to school, we celebrate, but we did not study his history of Ibn Badis. So I just thought he is normal, just Ibn Badis. Then when I started learning about him, I could see it's very rare or unique to find someone, scholar, who combine between Sharia background education, same time in what we call politic, Islamic politic, because he used to go to parliament, to France, to defend the Algerian, and he opened even go to the what we call to media. He established 5 magazines. Writes about not only Algeria, in that time also Palestine, they suffer, have problem. Also Kashmir, he used to write about Kashmir, about Turkey at that time, and he sent letters even to the leaders of the countries. Plus the society, how the schools, numbers of schools he opened all over Algeria. Plus also the politic thoughts, because at that time it's forbidden to teach all this. How his way, to achieve, and to open all these schools everywhere. And how to organize that, because you need finance to support students, to support teachers. So that's push me to write and to write about him.
Okay, good. Okay, the third points. We understand, we get some explanation regarding the history of Badis. So we know it's in Malaysia. We're quite far from the Algeria. We heard about Algeria, but not in order to understand detail about the history of Algeria. But it's good, something we can share. I think we also have the similarity between our scholars here. Okay, I say the name, our Sheikh Said Al-Lingi. Okay, often our scholars and our ulama also they have contributed to the society. Okay, we go to next. What is the highest achievement contributed by the Badis to the society of Algerian society in general?
Yes, good question. That's really a great question. The Algerian, if I say that briefly background, in 1829, just before 1 year before the colonized came France, there is a book of Shibra, German writer. He went to study how is the life in Algeria, right? So he spent 2 years then. After he came back to German, he wrote a book. So he said, I was attentionally, looking for someone who can't read or write. I couldn't. And the highest payment and fee were for given to the scholars. So people, he said, they have good education. Same time, Europe was not in that level in that time. So in what we say, when the colonizers came, the first thing what they did, they destroy, all the scholars, they forbid all knowledge, they burn all these schools and what we call makhtutat, the original books of the, even the General Pigot, the French one, he mentioned in 1950-54, he says, now I guarantee you, if you count in Algeria, those who have education will not be more than 400. Yes, and people start to, to speak French, to get away from, from the Islam, from the language. So when he came, what he did, the first thing, as I mentioned, education. He focused on education because he has 3 pillars, want to achieve. The first one, religion. The second one is the land, the country. It's the land of Algeria. The third one is the language, the Arabic language. They were working on these 3 pillars. So for schools, he opened in every place school. Then when he comes also to Punduk, right, we call Zawiya, or Katatib, he opened a lot masajid, in Tilemsan, in his place we call Qasantina, in even South Besekra, that is one of the main important points, The second thing what he did is also, he had tafsir al-Quran and book of Muwatta for 25 years. Imagine you are in time of war, plus all full journey, and you can do tafsir Quran, and his tafsir was complete tafsir.
Okay.
Complete tafsir and complete Muwatta. Yes. And that is a big challenge. And the way his way of tafsir is really unique. So he implements how the verse is, to reveal it according to the time. And that's the unique of his, whether tafsir al-Quran or Muwatta. The next, as we mentioned, magazines.
Yes.
So 5 magazines. Every magazine he opened, and he all selected from the Sharia. Like the first was Muntaqid, from a naqd. So he say anything that is opposite of Islam, opposite of the country, we should criticize. Then he has as-Sirat as-Sawi, or Sirat Mustaqim, then as-Sharia al-Muhammadiyya, al-Basira. So all these were closed after 2-3 years. Then he opened a new one, closed by the colonized. Yes, he used also to send students overseas to Syria in that time, to France, to learn overseas, then to come back to help
Okay.
him.
Good, very good. So very interesting story to hear. Is there any film or any about Badis? I think this is very good, prominent scholars, prominent personality that we can learn from them.
Yeah, there are a few movies. I think the latest was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
About
In Arabic,
in Arabic language.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Okay, I think this is last point, inshallah. So what could you share with the audience, the advantage or benefits to study about Ibn Badis, and also to study about the history of our scholars?
Yes, good point. For Ibn Badis, specifically what I can say, it will teach you how to combine, a scholar. People look at scholar nowadays, Sharia. He's a person just staying at masjid, perhaps reading Quran, teaching Quran. He doesn't have a right to go to politics, for example. Unlike we see now, even the Pope all day in parliament, everywhere, right? So we know Islam, in our history we had a lot, these like Youcef Bensala, others. So he shows like a scholar, he can be as a scholar teaching at masjid,
Yes.
at university, also part in politics, parliament, in a society, everywhere. It doesn't.
Yes.
You can't, be say you don't have a right to talk about this and that. As long as you have knowledge, the experience, right? It shows you also you can work with all types of Muslim, because when he has Jam'iyyatul Ulama, he established that in 1930. That was all mujtama. So it doesn't say you have to be a same madhab or same group or same. As long as we want to maintain and support our people, Islam, the country, and also the language, we are all together. In general, scholars, we could see every scholar has something unique to learn from his life. Every scholar.
Yes, yes. Okay, well, alhamdulillah. I think that's for today. Our not very, but it's short and brief, but as long as it's precise and we can share, and our audience also can search for the books. Okay, you have the books about methodology of Ibn Badis in Fiqh, inshallah ta'ala. You can find from our UM Press. Is it UM Press? Or the Imam Malik International, inshallah. And also, we also appreciate Dr. Youcef Bensala for the time and for his knowledge to share with us with the ideas. And inshallah, we will see you for the next session. And don't forget to share, like, and comment and subscribe our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Thank you. See you again. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.